All right. I don't know how you say good middle of middle of the night, so I'll just say Yorigel Kivanok, and that's the that's one of the last times that I'm going to say Yorigel Kivanok here in Magyarország, and I say one of the last times because I still got to go down and it's a little bit before 4 a.m. here, and on what's today? Today's Thursday morning, so it's a little bit before um, 4 a.m. And if Nordica, if she was successful in ordering the taxi here uh, at my Lakash on the Karut, then there'll be a taxi downstairs waiting for me to take me to Fetahedge Airport, and that's going to cost me about 7,000 forint. Can you imagine 7,000 forint to go? This sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? But so it's going to cost 7,000 forint to go to the airport, and there I'll get on a plane and head over to Berlin. So I'm catching the 620 plane to Berlin, and then I'll have a little bit of a layover in Berlin, maybe enough time to grab a Starbucks, and I'll have a little bit of a layover in Berlin before getting on a flight for about 8 hours over to uh, Chicago, the Windy City. So I'm landing in the Windy City at about noon, and then I caught a flight. That's the end of my Europe trip, for all intent and purpose. That's it. And then I catch a connecting flight into my original hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm flying into Cleveland, Ohio, and into Cleveland Hopkins at about I don't know what time I'll be getting into Cleveland, and I will be bright and early. I'll be seeing my dad tomorrow morning. God willing, I'll be seeing my father tomorrow morning. But anyway, you know what? Thank you for letting me share my summer with you. It has been it's been nothing short of it exceeded all expectations. The summer was just incredible. Everything from the first couple weeks here in Budapest to going down to Croatia and meeting Michelle and zipping off over to Italy together, and then uh, and then up through Lake Bled and Ljubljana, and uh, and then back to Budapest, and then back to Italy, and down to down the Cinque Terre with uh, Edit and Amadeo and Porto Veneto, Veneto, Porto Veneto. Who can forget Porto Veneto? That was what a magical place that was. And then from there up to we're up to Poland, and the Polish countryside, and every day going for a walk and waking up to the roosters out in Odonov, and then down to Krakow, and then back to Budapest. And how can I forget Pécs? Let's not forget Pécs and Vilani, the wine country, and out in where else was I in the the name Havies, and what a trip, what a trip. Sometimes I have to pinch myself just to make sure that I'm not dreaming. And it's the fact that I was able to do this trip when I first started traveling 20 years ago. It was really I was just all marveling at it, and here I am, some 20 years later or whatever it is, and I still get that same excitement when it comes to traveling. Hmm. So anyway, I have as the saying goes, I have passport, will travel. I think that was one of the very first. I think that was one of the very first One of the very first things that I said when I started this trip: have passport, will will travel. So I'm going to get back to I'm going to get back to the States. I'm going to get back to the States tonight. And as far as my future travel plans, it's interesting because as far as future travel plans go, I'm going to get back to the States. I got to buckle down. I got to knock out some work. I'm working on another major project right now, and it's really going to be it's really going to be something else. The project that I'm working on, but I get back to the States, and I've got about 2 to 3 months to recover, if you will. I've got about 2 to 3 months to recover. And then the next trip that I'm thinking about, listen to this itinerary. I play all this stuff out of my head. So I get home. I'm home for 2 to 3 months, and then sometime about December, I have my home rented out for at least 2 months this year at about 4,000 a month, interestingly enough. But I have my house rented out in Florida for 2 months this winter. So what I'm thinking is I catch a flight out of Florida, and I go down to I can probably hear my mother saying, "Tom, button your shirt." That's probably what she's saying right now. Button your shirt. So I go down to oh, where is it? I will be going down to maybe Costa Rica, Nemtudom. Nemtudom. I don't know. Maybe Costa Rica, but definitely I want to go to Chile. I want to go to Chile, and I want to go and visit Valparaiso in Chile, right on the ocean, and right about December time, the beginning of their summer. And I'd like to hit Valparaiso. And from Valparaiso, Chile, I'd like to catch a flight over to New Zealand and go to Lake Wanaka. And maybe I'd be in New Zealand about Christmas time, Lake Wanaka. And then from Lake Wanaka, catch a flight over to Australia. And I don't know where in Australia. There's so many options. There's so many options. I can go up and maybe Michelle will have me for a short bit up on the Gold Sunshine Coast of Florida. Um, I'd like to go see Whitsunday in Florida. There's Sydney. There's Bondi Beach. There's Melbourne, the Ocean Road. There's Tasmania. Uh, there's Adelaide. There's what else? There's Perth. So I'd like to spend as much time as possible in the great country of Australia. Did you know you could take the United States, geographically speaking, and put it inside the United States, and you'd probably still have room for Hungary as well, inside the great country of Australia. But anyway, so then there, I find myself in Australia, and to get home, well, where the hell is home? To get home, I would go from Australia up to, if I'm on the east side of Australia, go up to maybe Hawaii, back to California, back to Florida, or go from Perth over to South Africa, and that would make an around the world trip, you know, around the world, and then from South Africa back up to Budapest. So, it's just a dream at this point in time. It's just a visualization at this point in time. But we'll see what happens. A lot can happen between now and tomorrow. But anyway, another interesting a couple quick thoughts before I go. I've got to go on down and hopefully catch my taxi. I had lunch yesterday, not with one, but with two beautiful women. I had lunch yesterday for those of you that follow me on Facebook, and you can see at least one of them. I made a comment yesterday. I checked in at this place for lunch at Leroy Cafe, and I was with Nora Miss Brenner. Um, when I met Nori, I was about 39 years old or 40 years old, and Nori was 28. I was 12 years her senior, and Nori and I dated for 3 years. And the relationship ended, unfortunately, when I was, I think, 42 and she was 31 or something. And as I sat there yesterday having lunch with her, I told her that never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that she would have matured into such a beautiful, beautiful woman that had as much grace as she does, and as beautiful of a mother as she is, wonderful of a mother. And what a great lady Norika is. A lot of people will call her Norika, and she really is. She's got a great sense of humor, and very very intelligent. And what a beautiful, graceful woman. You know, that's what I like in women. I like women that have grace. I like women that have a kind heart and that have grace, carry themselves with grace. You know, not women that use foul language. You know, that's one of the biggest turnoffs to me is that a woman that has a sewer mouth. Um, you know, that ranks right up there with tattoos, perhaps tattoos and sewer mouths. I don't care for that in a woman. But anyway, so that was one thought. And you know, it's special that Nori and I we have such a wonderful relationship with each other. We're not in communication all the time, but we're in communication regularly. And throughout the year, we might talk every couple months or something like that. But it's so wonderful to have such a nice relationship with somebody that was as close to me as Nori was. And you know, speaking of which, I had an interesting I had an interesting situation yesterday, and I need to get going for the taxi. I had an interesting situation yesterday, and that was that I got a call from Susika, and Susika told me that she had talked to Reika. And Susika, for those of you that have been following me, Susika was a lady that I dated here some years back, about 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, something like that. And Susika wanted to introduce me to Reika. And I love how those roll off the tongue, Susika, you know, Reika. And so anyway, Reika is cute as a button. They don't make them any cuter than Reika. And Susika told me that she is dating a man in London, and she goes to London all the time, and she goes for 2 to 3 weeks. And she said, Tomas, you are welcome to come over and use my apartment. You can come over and use my lakash when I am in London. You can use it for no charge. You come over, you relax. We have the nice pool, the fitness, and you come over and you use my apartment and you spend some time and you get to know Reka. And I'm like, well, gee, thanks. Thank you, Susie. God, that's a very, you are Najon Kedvesh, Najon Kedvesh. But anyway, so that's it. So listen, I've got to get going, but I've got some interesting news. You know, when you get on a plane, you know, you get on the plane and they have the different zones, like zone one, zone two, zone three, or A, B, C, and then you board the plane. And when you board the plane, you notice how they have those people, there's about a dozen seats right there at the front of the plane, and it's first class. And you walk through the first class and you're kind of looking at the people and they're already sitting there because they get the board first. And you're sitting there and some of them have their little snack and their little drink and that, you know, the little Johnny's got his big headset on, you know, that costs $500. And then you see the woman with all the jewelry and the guy, you know, with the nice sport jacket. And you're thinking, wow, these people are really making it. And then you get into the back of the plane and you're sitting like this on your laptop, you know, and the person puts a seat down in front of you, and then you're sitting like this for 8 hours on the plane, you know, trying your best to maintain your sanity. And then as they're taking off, you know, they close the curtain on the first class, and you got to sit there like this, looking down the aisle, and you see that curtain, and you don't know what the hell is going on the other side of that curtain. You know, maybe they're having a party, maybe, you know, they're getting massages, you know, stuff like that. Well, guess what? I got news for you. Today, I'm going to find out what's going on the other side of that curtain. I am going to be in first class from Budapest to Berlin, Berlin to Chicago. There I'll be in first class. And I'll tell you, I don't know, maybe I'll do a video. I don't know. Maybe maybe they'll have Wi-Fi on the plane, and I'll be able to do a live broadcast from first class. That would be definitely be something. So anyway, with all that said, I really gotta get going. Gotta make sure I got my passport. Put that in my front pocket, and make sure I got my wallet. Everything is packed, and I'm ready to go. And let's see, what are the comments? What an amazing summer you had. Yes, Linda Golden. What an amazing summer I had. And I was thinking about that. Oh, I got to really run. I was thinking about that, but you know what? It's just one of many amazing summers. So, Kenneth Grunman, you caught me live. Thank you, Linda. I'll have a safe trip. Christmas in Melbourne. Who knows? Los Buenos reporting. Da, 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 love the place. Fishing. Da, 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 da. Okay. And that. Hi, Tom. Have a safe trip back. Okay, Gypsy's Hope for sure. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. I gotta run.